In the fiercely competitive arena of entry-level smartphones, standing out is an increasingly difficult challenge in 2026. Most manufacturers operating in the sub-$120 price bracket play a safe game, offer a passable screen, a camera that works in daylight, and just enough processing power to run basic apps without crashing. It is a sea of sameness, where devices are often indistinguishable from one another. Vivo, however, has decided to break this monotony with the global launch of the Vivo Y05. The Vivo Y05 is not trying to be a jack-of-all-trades. Instead, it is a hyper-focused device designed with a singular, overwhelming priority: endurance. By packing a colossal 6500 mAh battery into a relatively standard chassis, Vivo is targeting a massive, often underserved demographic: the practical user who simply wants a phone that refuses to die, regardless of how far they are from a power outlet. But does this singular focus on battery life compromise the rest of the experience too severely? Let's dive into what the Vivo Y05 offers the global budget market. Design and practicality. Built for purpose. When designing a sub-$110 smartphone that houses a battery larger than most tablets, certain compromises in aesthetics are inevitable. The Vivo Y05 is unapologetically substantial. Tipping the scales around 209 grams and measuring nearly 8.5 millimeters thick, you will certainly feel its presence in your pocket. However, Vivo has managed to mask this bulk reasonably well with ergonomic curves on the rear panel that make the device comfortable to hold during long usage sessions. The construction is entirely polycarbonate, as expected at this price point. Yet, Vivo continues its tradition of excellent build quality. The matte finish, available in global colorways like obsidian black and pearl white, does an admirable job of resisting greasy fingerprints and provides a reassuring grip. It doesn't feel cheap so much as it feels utilitarian and durable. A surprising and very welcome addition for the global market is the inclusion of basic IP64/IP65 dust and water resistance, a feature rarely seen in the ultra-budget segment that adds a layer of real-world reliability. The visual experience: smoothness over sharpness. The display is often where budget phones reveal their true colors. The Vivo Y05 features a sprawling 6.74-inch IPS LCD panel featuring a water drop notch for the selfie camera. Vivo has made a calculated trade-off here. The resolution is capped at HD+, 720 by 1600, which, stretched across nearly 6.8 inches, means pixel density is not its strong suit. Text won't look razor-sharp, and high-resolution videos will be downscaled. However, Vivo counteracts this by implementing a 90 Hz refresh rate. In the budget segment, the jump from 60 Hz to 90 Hz is transformative. Scrolling through social media feeds, navigating the user interface, and browsing long web pages feels significantly smoother and more responsive than on competing devices stuck at 60 Hz. For the target audience, this sensation of fluidity is often more valuable in day-to-day use than a higher pixel count. Under the hood, managing expectations. Driving the Y05 is the Unisoc T7225 chipset, a 12nm octa-core processor designed strictly for basic efficiency. For global consumers used to Snapdragon or Dimensity chips, the Unisoc name might raise eyebrows. It is crucial to manage expectations here. The Vivo Y05 is not a gaming phone. Attempting to run modern, graphically demanding titles will result in dropped frames and frustration. However, for its intended purpose, communication, social networking, light web browsing, and streaming video, the chipset is adequate. Vivo helps the processor along with 4 GB of physical RAM, supplemented by an additional 4 GB of virtual RAM, borrowed from storage. This helps keep essential apps alive in the background. The phone launches with Android 15 layered with Vivo's FunTouch OS 15. The software is relatively clean, though global users should expect some pre-installed third-party apps, most of which can be uninstalled. Cameras, strictly utilitarian. In 2026, multi-camera setups are de rigueur, even at the entry level. The Vivo Y05 sports a dual-camera module on the rear, though it is effectively a single-camera system. The main shooter is a 13MP sensor with an f/2 2.2 aperture, accompanied by a negligible 0.08 MP auxiliary sensor used for depth information in portrait mode. The camera performance is best described as functional. In bright, natural daylight, the Y05 can capture decent photos with acceptable color accuracy, suitable for sharing on WhatsApp or Facebook. The autofocus is reasonably quick in good lighting. However, as soon as the light drops, image quality degrades rapidly, introducing noise and losing detail. The 5MP front-facing camera handles video calls and casual selfies well enough, provided there is ample light. Battery life, the absolute champion. This is the reason the Vivo Y05 exists. The 6500 mAh battery is, quite simply, monstrous for a smartphone. For an average user, the Y05 is not a one-day phone. It is easily a 2 to 3 day phone. You can navigate with GPS for hours, stream movies on a long flight, and doom scroll social media without the nagging anxiety of a depleting battery icon. For light users, charging this device might become a twice-a-week ritual. The caveat to this massive capacity is charging speed. The device supports 15W to 18W wired charging via its USB-C port. While decent for a standard battery, filling a 6500 mAh tank at this speed is a slow process, taking well over 2 hours to go from flat to full. This is a phone best charged overnight. The final verdict. The Vivo Y05 is a refreshing device because it knows exactly what it is. It doesn't pretend to be a flagship killer or a pocket camera. It is a communication tool designed for maximum uptime. With a global launch price hovering around the $109 mark, it offers undeniable value. Vivo has correctly identified that for millions of users, from students on tight budgets to gig economy workers who need their GPS active all day, battery life is the ultimate luxury. By sacrificing screen resolution and processing power to deliver exceptional endurance and a smooth 90 Hz experience, the Vivo Y05 earns its place as the reigning champion of budget battery life. Ultimately, the decision to purchase the Vivo Y05 comes down to a clear understanding of your personal priorities. If you consider yourself a mobile gamer, an aspiring smartphone photographer, or a power user who demands the highest resolution displays, you will undoubtedly need to look elsewhere and likely increase your budget significantly. However, if your daily routine demands reliable connectivity, a smooth user interface for basic tasks, and a battery that simply refuses to quit under pressure, the Y05 is an incredibly compelling option. It stands as a testament to the fact that a modern smartphone doesn't need to be expensive to be highly practical, cementing its status as a must-buy for anyone seeking pure, unadulterated endurance in the entry-level market.